Exactly. All right, time now for Mars driving destinations, and it's titled Summer.
Trying to make everybody's trying to make sure summer lasts a little bit longer because the
Well,
kids are
it's still summer, but the school's back, and that's screwed everything up.
exactly. So you got to kind of look for something that's going to kind of extend the summer feeling that's going on. Um, and one of those things is the Armand, if I'm saying that correctly, Bayou Nature Center down in Pasadena. Now the idea
That's
is
pass a get down, Dina, to everybody else.
exactly. Now this one, again, this is Pasadena. It's basically all part of the Houston Metroplex. So you're getting out without getting out, and because there's plenty of wetlands down here. There's some prairie, there's forests along the bayou. Yeah, families can hike the trails. You can look for wildlife, birds. Got some educational programs that you can actually get involved with, and it gives a good contrast to going to an amusement park or video games or whatever else on a weekend. And but the only thing you got to do is be sure to bring some water and some insect repellent. This time of year, it's plenty hot out there and humid, and there's lots of little insects around there. The second one, everybody's heard about it, but I don't think about it very often, and that's the Houston Space Center down in Clear Lake.
Yep.
Now, the kids can actually, you can take the kids down here, and there's a lot of interactive things for the whole family, actually. And it gives the kids and the adults something that they can do to get involved with, see the spacecraft, the astronaut history, a lot of hands-on visits, and the tram the tour that takes you around. So you can kind of get the kids involved and start getting excited maybe about going back to school, about learning some things. At the same time, get to go down and explore some of the things in the science world that's history making, actually.
Yeah, real quick, Mike, while Kathy and I were there not very long ago, and those trams, there's different levels. You can tour different things of the complex or the compound with different trams. They go different directions. But yes, kid-oriented, kid-friendly. I was even impressed. I tried to join the astronaut team, and they told me no.
Well, I think it was probably because of the glasses, I guess. You know,
I wasn't tall enough for something, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't been there in years, and after I looked at this, I thought this would be pretty cool
It's
to go
fun.
back to.
You should do it.
The next one would be the Baytown Family Adventure. Now, this is actually a place to go exploring for the kids to get involved in exploring because it's a geo-tour across the wetlands. And it's down in Baytown. It's a little bit further away maybe for some people. But you can go in here, and they've got the Wetland Center, which is actually the Eddie V. Gray Wetland Center, where you can see the wildlife and you can kind of get involved and learn some more about the Baytown Nature Center from there. And the history, the nature, and the actual going out and exploring things is what gets you involved in all this. And so it becomes part of a destination that you can go to and be involved in that destination. Again, learning, trying to get the kids back to school, but it's a family event, family fun event. Then we're going to buzz up to Lake Conroe. You want to go out on the lake? There you go. It beats going to the beach sometimes where you go get into the sand. But let's suppose you don't have a boat. You can actually go to Lake Conroe and go up there for the day, and there are facilities up there that you can rent a boat. You can rent the water gear to go out play on.
God help us all.
Exactly. So the family can go up there, go boating. They've got camping up there. Of course, around the edge of it, you've got a lot of restaurants and things. But again, it's basically boating, tubing, fishing, and swimming for the family. And again, if you don't have a boat or don't want to haul your boat, take it. Then the last one we wanted was Columbus. Columbus is a couple hours away from Houston. And it's a place you go through. I always go through there going wherever we're going. But there's a lot of things there, including the Colorado River runs through there. So there's parks, there's museums, a few quirky attractions to get around downtown. And you can actually spend the day there, basically like a little small Fredericksburg or someplace that's not quite as crowded, not quite as so many people, but there's plenty of things to go and see and spend the day here without going off into another part of the world that takes you all day just to get there. So that's just a few things you might could do to kind of extend the feeling that you're still in the summer vacation without going too far.
Piques your interest. Time now for Jeff's car culture. 4-door Mustangs. Is it a station wagon?
I don't know, but we talked about the Camaro last week when we did the feature there, and you had mentioned, hey, is a Mustang coming out? Well, here we go. So the number 4 might be Ford's new favorite number. At the dealership last week, they Ford showed at a dealer event last week. Ford showed an early prototype of the Mustang sedan with 4 doors. Hit 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. It cost under $40,000, according to the reports of the Wall Street Journal they reported to. Though the name hasn't been confirmed, Ford reportedly calling it the Mach 4, which would align with the trademark filed in 2025.
Oh, God.
The Mustang's current lineup is fairly robust with 3 engine options and the choice of a manual or automatic transmission in most trims. However, the Mustang only comes in a 2-door setup. Its biggest competitor, the Dodge Charger, is offered as a 2 or 4-door model, though it offers fewer engine options and does not come with a stick shift. So poo-poo. Ford hasn't sold a sedan since it discontinued the Fusion after the 2020 model year. Since then, the company has focused on the SUVs and trucks, according to the CEO, Jim Farley. He hinted that bringing back sedans for a while back in June. He talked about it before. The current president, Andrew Flick, president of the Ford Blue and Model E, said the sedan revival was possible. Flick said a sedan would make the most sense and fit with the existing model, adding that they would consider expanding the Mustang family in the future. It looks like the future may be closer than anticipated, though there's still plenty of time for the project to get scrapped or altered. The reports say that the sedan is expected to go on sale in 2028, 2029. 2 sources said that the sedan would feature a hybrid powertrain, and one mentioned a hybrid V8 engine. Attendees at the dealer event said that the prototype was roughly the same size and shape as the Porsche Panamera. Oh, that's a little bit longer vehicle. And executives reportedly said it would have more rear legroom than the Panamera. The Mustang has been continuous production since it launched in 1964. We all know that, making it the longest-running muscle car in production. Its closest competitor, the Chevrolet Camaro, has been discontinued, while the Dodge Challenger was also killed off, essentially replacing by the 2-door Charger. Chevrolet, however, is reportedly reviving the Camaro. We talked about that as a 4-door, which was rumored to go on sale in 29, so they're all kind of being competitive in the years of release. The Mustang expected release date would put it either ahead or in line with Chevy's debut. The sub $40,000 starting price would put it on more of a affordable side of the Mustang lineup with the V8 horsepower. They would likely be priced closer and in line with the V8 powered Mustang GT, which starts at just under $50K, and the current Mustang's trim level lineup. Powertrain menu could mirror the Mustang, including the turbocharged 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder and the naturally aspirated 5-liter Coyote V8, with room for high-output versions. Oh, yeah, tub it. The bigger draw is the V8, which would be paired with a manual gearbox and genuine selling point for the enthusiasts of that vehicle. Ford is not committed to a debut date for the Mach 4, but production should start sometime between 28 and 29. With any luck, the company would give us something to chew on, early teasers and spy shots. That's all going to be available as they're released. So there you go. Who's next? That's what I got to say.
Exactly. All right. Time. All right, so I had an opportunity to drive the 2026 Lexus LX 700H. Now, we are familiar with all sorts of different Lexus models, and I had to really put on my thinking cap, which is almost worn out. I had to put that on and thinking, an LX. Now, this is not an LS. I'm familiar with the LS, the big sedan. LX, got to be an SUV. And wait, a different number destination here of 700 with an H at the end of it. Well, it is a great, big, huge SUV. And the 700 doesn't mean anything other than the fact the H at the end, it is a hybrid. So there are 7 trim levels of this car. And the price ranges from $107,000 up to $143,000. It ain't cheap. And it is real nice. The review trim level is the Hybrid Over Trail. It is a $117,000 trim package priced hybrid. Standard SUV, meaning that it is a body-on-frame SUV with only 2 rows of seating in this one. Other trim levels, you can get 3 rows of seating. This one is 2. And I will tell you that the frame underneath it is semi-tundra truck. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is a very rugged SUV. Look at that beautiful interior. We're going to get to that in a minute. This is 4th generation LX, debuted in 2022. Hybrid began in 2024. Exterior features include overpowering spindle grille. I think it detracts from its grill look. It overwhelms everything. Straight body lines and bulging front fenders add to the off-road appearance. Huge rear hatch swallows everything, probably a couch back there, maybe even at least a fridge. Rear valance and taillights add to the elegant touch of this. What I liked about it, I liked the overall conservative styling. What could use improvement? The grille. Interior highlights. Depending on the trim level, the interior goes from mild to wild with colors. That one there is the F Sport, and you can see that it's got a really nice red interior. Don't understand dual screens for the HVAC and radio navigation. That's something that puzzles me. Why? Why couldn't you just put it in one screen? But at least they have done away with the touch screen, the touch pad that you used to have to use your finger to actually put the cursor onto wherever it is that you're trying to go. Huge center console with optional cooling capabilities. Yes, cooling capabilities. So if you want to have your Coca-Colas cooled, there's a place for that in the center console. Premium leather throughout the cabin, comfortable front seats. Without the third row, there's plenty of room for camping gear back there. What I did like about it, that Mark Levinson sound system with, 100 speakers in it is really nice. What could use improvement? Again, kill the dual screens and make one big one. That would be my suggestion, but who am I? A 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 is under the hood with 457 horsepower. Yep, 457, 583 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Again, it is a hybrid. Its towing capability is up to 4 tons. That's 8,000 pounds for those that don't want me to do the math for you. Yeah, miles per gallon, well, 19 city, 22 highway for a combined to 20. Now, mind you that this is one of those vehicles that used to be like 13 miles per gallon. So they've bumped up the party pretty well.
Twin turbo, yeah.
Yeah. I got 18.1 miles per gallon over 389 miles. This thing is heavy. It weighs almost 3 tons. So that kind of mileage is impressive, considering that it's got to haul around all that weight.
10-speed transmission, too.
Yeah. What I liked about it, the horsepower. The V6 acts like a V8. You can't tell the difference. At least I couldn't. What could use improvement? More mileage. And I think that this is a nice compromise. It's a V6 instead of a V8. And it's also a hybrid, so it does have a battery backup. You start adding batteries and making the mileage go up, then you got to deal with the weight. So it's a nice compromise in that area. Ride and handling. Air ride suspension absolutely nails it. Now, I don't know about you. You ever ridden in one with an air ride suspension? They're different. They feel different. You go over the bumps and the bruises on the freeway, and you go, that just felt different.
Yeah.
And boy, it absorbs those.
Didn't feel it. That's why it felt different.
Like the old GMC buses from the 1960s.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's really nice. It acts like a luxury sedan from the 80s. It is smooth. What could use improvement? Again, the weight. It feels heavy, and it is almost 3 tons. All right. So you want to know about the pricing.
Yep.
Well, I kind of gave you a tease. But here's the real thing. The base trim price is $115. Prices tested $119, $311. The base model price, gasoline version, is $108,000, $550.
$109, but yeah.
Competitors: Mercedes-Benz GLS, BMW X7, and the Infiniti QX80. And next week, I'm going to review the Mazda CX5. And
That's
that's my
one thing
review of the 2026 Lexus LX.
Noticed about it, I don't like that grill. The grill is too obtrusive to
It's
me.
well, it's overwhelming.
It is.
It takes up the entire front
it
end. And
pulls-
I get it that it's a Lexus, but could you scale it back just a little bit?
All the attaboys, that one, oh crap, that wipes it all out.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. All right. Great guy. All right. Time now for This Week in Auto History, Mr. Mars.
So a few things we found coming up this week in auto history that you can check into. 1994, on August the 15th, Ford began production of their Contour and their Mercury Mystique. Now, basically all this was the European design Mondeo being brought into America because of their change, the way they wanted to do or approach the midsize market in America. A lot of imports were coming in and they wanted to get in to that and change to a different style, doing away with the Tempo and the Topaz that were originally competing against Japanese and European imports. So they've upgraded to this and made a big change in Ford's progress there. Then in 1906, August the 16th, the Mason Motor Car Company in Des Moines, Iowa, of all places. This is where the Duesenberg brothers built their first cars. This is what they did before they actually started building the Duesenberg vehicles. And it was a 2-cylinder vehicle, and it had a lot of different implementations that were technology of the particular time. And this is where they experimented with their car building and what they decided on that eventually led them to build the famous Duesenberg vehicles. Then on August the 17th in 1915, this is something that changed everything for all of us. If you've worked on cars and messed with cars very long, you've
Thank
dealt with
God.
one of these.
Can you imagine without that?
I mean, I can't. I mean, it not only was it a safety issue, people got hurt with the hand cranks and stuff, but just this and the progression of it. I mean, how many times did you take a screwdriver and get down there on that solenoid to jump it because the windings are shot?
Or there should be a sticker that says "Hit it here."
Or hit it here.
That's
exactly.
right, with a broomstick.
Exactly. I mean, but it just, so Cadillac did this and they set it up and they started in 1912, which I didn't really understand or know that it went back that far. But this was a Cadillac deal that changed everything for all the automobiles. So then in August the 20th of 1960, this one kind of flabbergasted me. You remember the Dodge Dart? This is the original Dodge Dart. What I remember was a little mid-size sedan or a coupe. If you were lucky, it had a hot rod motor in it. But this is the Dodge Dart in 1960. And they started really seeing how things were going to go. They sold over 306,000 of these vehicles. And it actually helped them out through the 1957-58 Depression. And it gave them a stronger full-size offering at a time whenever everybody else was starting to cut back and the sales were getting weak. So this is the original Dodge Dart. Even got a wagon for you, Jeff.
I see that. I love it.
August 20th, 1969. The Skylon, the Nissan Skylon that everybody sees as fantastic hot rod from the imports, Fast and Furious movies. This is the original Skyline that was built by the Prince Motor Company. Nissan took them over and eventually molded them into the Nissan performance packages and the vehicles that we know now. And the one on the bottom right, the red, was actually the last one that the Prince Engineering, the Prince Motor Company Engineering, was all involved with. So it was started out as a modest 4-door family design, and now it's ended up on the movie screen as a hot rod that'll jump tall buildings and swim massive streams and go really fast. So that's just a few of the.
You just did that to make a little dig at me when talking about swimming again.
Did you write that?
He with a little shrug.
Well,
Time now for the much delayed and much sought after review of the Subaru Outback. And Mr. Mars, my apologies. I know that I skipped over you last hour, but we're going to make up for it now.
We got plenty of time. So again, we're talking about the 2026 Subaru Outback. Now, this is all new design for 2026. So it's actually the 7th generation of this vehicle. Now, the final assembly location is in Ota, Guma, Japan, or something to that effect. It's available in 6 trim levels: the Premium, the Limited XT, the Wilderness, the Touring, and the Touring XT. Now, I happen to be driving the Wilderness for the review time. Now, the government says this is a small SUV. With it parked in the driveway next to my wife's midsize, I would think it's more of a midsize, but being that what it may, seats 5 passengers. Now, new this year, it's got a taller roof line on it, so you got a lot bigger windows, which improves the view outside of it. Got plenty of black trim to give it that off-road look. It's got power heated side mirrors, got black roof rails on it. Up front, the LED lighting package goes all the way around it, but the front headlights are steering responsive headlights, which at night you got to kind of play with a little bit, but it's pretty cool to watch it. Even got the daytime running lights and the fog lights are also LEDs. It's got a moon roof on it. Again, the black roof racks, and it's rolling on some 17-inch black wheels. Now, this all works together to give it that rugged off-road look that they're looking for with the Wilderness brand. But on the inside, we're going to find black Napa leather. The front seats are heated and ventilated. The second row seats are also heated on the outboard seating positions. Got a 12.1-inch multimedia system right there in the middle of it. Big, nice screen with navigation. Got your surround view. Harman Kardon speakers for the audio. Kind of filled it up really nice. A 12.3-inch LCD instrument cluster gives you all the information the driver is going to be looking for, and you can adjust it, of course, to whatever you want. Wireless charging for your phones. It's got front and rear USB ports for everybody to have plenty of places to plug in their stuff. And the rear seat is a 60/40 fold down. And it does have a cargo cover in the back, which a lot of people kind of but that's really important, I think, because it keeps all your good stuff back there out of sight, out of mind, so people don't even think about trying to steal it. Now, the Outback can come with 2 different engines. The Wilderness has the 2.4-liter turbo boxer. This has got 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque on it. It's backed by a CVT, but you can put it into a manual mode, which mimics an 8-speed transmission. Tow rating is 3,500, so that'll take care of your small boats, your kayaks, and maybe even a small pop-up camper. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 21 miles to the gallon in the city, Highway 27, combined 23. Now, I got 21.8 across 292 miles. Most of my time was spent in town, done a little bit out on the highway. So I was well pleased with what I got out of it, because with a turbo, it's got a quick power. There's really not a turbo lag to it that I really felt was important to notice, but it was very quick and had plenty of power, had very responsive steering, and the lane keeping system was really strong. In other words, you knew it had it. You could almost fight it if you wanted to change lanes without turning on a turn signal. It would let you know that you're doing it, and you'd have to kind of fight it a little bit. And I really like driving it because I had a lot of glass, the big glass on it. It's got a lot of view. You can see outside real well, almost like driving a big bus.
That's for those people that are really getting bad at seeing things.
Can you see over the steering wheel?
Exactly. And, but it was really cool like that. Now, the base trim price on this is $44,995. Now, the as tested price is $50,535.
Wow. And a Subaru.
Yeah.
Mid trim level Subaru. Yeah. And of course, you can get a base model price at $34,995. So using that, went over and looked at the Chevrolet Blazer, 34,300 is the base model on it. The Mazda CX-70, 42,750. And the Honda Passport is 44,950. And again, I thought that that's where it fit in better because it's a little bit bigger. It's square. It looks much more like a midsize to me than the smaller ones. And these all seemed like fairly comparable. Other than the price, Subaru is definitely a better price in that range. So that's some of the things that I found on the 2026 Subaru Outback Wilderness package.
You know, I will have to admit to you that I actually like the Subaru brand. I think that it's a different way to build a car. I like the Boxer engines. I like those a lot. They do a very good job with those. And, you know, the CVT transmissions have actually been bumped up. Remember the original ones? God, they were just awful. You know,
right.
rev up to 6,000 RPM and sit there forever and ever and ever until you got it up to 60 miles an hour. They're not like that anymore.
No.
And Subaru has come miles and miles now with their new interiors. They've been working at it, and I think that they're doing a much better job than they used to. And for those that are in the market, I would definitely suggest that you at least give them a try. Shop it. You may not like it, but shop it, because chances are you're going to find something in there that you're going to like. That's me. Would I go out and buy one? I wouldn't. I'm not in a new car buying mode, but I definitely would put it on my shopping list. Wouldn't you, Mr. Mars?
Check it out. Yeah.
Particularly this Outback, because of the size of it, this new generation of 2026, by it being new, the changes they've made, it's gone away from all that swoopy stuff that you used to see in the small SUVs.
Well, and they all look like grown station wagons.
Yeah, and they've got
This one is definitely, to me, looks better and more like that. And what a lot of the bigger
the
full
wheel
size
trim
would be doing.
packages and things that's kind of hard to get used to for me.
Yeah, I think that they've come a long way, and they've
Absolutely.
allowed themselves to change it up and make the different models that people are actually looking for. I'm kind of impressed with the Subaru. You know, it's the other Japanese automaker.
Right.
Oh.
I got a friend that he's on his second Outback, and he wouldn't drive anything else.
Yeah, yeah, and from what I understand, very reliable. They last a long time, and you rarely hear of one of those being recalled.
Well, yeah, my sister-in-law had one, and she had an accident, and that was the end of that car. But she had it for a long time. They loved it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Hey, if you'd like to get